I gotta do some hypothesizing now because I just watched the ghost video. This guy, the ghost in his house, they think he's the intruder, right? He catches a shadow upstairs and goes chasing after him. He notices things moved out of place when he goes back in the hallway. He starts cussing, yelling, and stuff, and running around. So he had believed that they were more attached. The entity is more attached to him than any object in the house. So if once it's been explained that they think you're the intruder, you would not be able to act the same way, no matter how much you wanted to. Start cussing and yelling, like you would not be able to act the same way, act out. And so it's a similar thing, right? The angels in Christianity are angles of the golden ratio from the inner ear. And the inner ear is, like the eye of Horus and all that stuff. Now, what is it evil? Because evil is predecessant. Evil just means to go before. Before we had those angels, we had angles of the inner ear, the 36 chambers. And there's 72 Goetia. And the Goetia are like demons. The demons has the angel, has a little angle in them. Each demon has an angel in it, or a little angle in it. And they didn't say anything about them being good or bad. They said some of them had this characteristic, some of them had that characteristic. Some of them are, some of them are polite. Some of them are, like they have all these different characteristics. Okay. But okay. Am I saying that the Eye of Ra horror stuff and all that stuff is evil? Yes. To go before. It's early, it's predecessor. Am I saying there's no angels or that Christianity isn't right and it's wrong? Because I'm saying that they stole from other mystery systems. You can't look at this dude running around inside his house. That's real to him. Only way that you can change his approach is by giving him a little bit of detail into who those entities are and what are they. So we came up with this hierarchy. You needed a protagonist, and you needed the protagonist's antithesis, not antagonist, antithesis. And the antithesis is contractually gets the short end of the stick because he gets to rule over the underworld. He's feels jilted and he's upset about his contract. Doesn't this fool know he's, what I'm saying? Doesn't he know he's underworld? Doesn't he know where he goes, right? He's mad about the contract. You can't say that Christ would do things like that are, debaucherous and scandalous or anything. So you can't say that he's split in two to take you in the, so that you can become who you are and everything. Because he wouldn't put himself up to the things. But those things are not the same thing as shaitan, you know what I mean? Like, okay, the pedophile stuff, right? That is not the same thing as satanic, or it is, but it's not. Do you know what I mean? Because they're borrowing terms to even apply to this shit. There's words for that shit before you even have to say they have a demon. You could say that shit is beyond the pale. You could say that it is depraved, indifferent, and a type of hatred, and is a type of wrath that makes someone want to go and steal the innocence or something like this, right? We already know this shit. It doesn't have to be no winged freaking, dark, shadowy, winged, we just don't have to fucking stigmatize. We always give these killers a cool name or something and inspire them to want to go out and beat the Zodiac or something. I mean, fucking, let's deal with this shit. The fuck? I mean, it's hard to process because you're making definitive statements about Catholicism and stuff, saying misinformation about where they were. It doesn't have to come across to you like this. It doesn't mean it's inauthentic. Mystery systems deteriorate. So you need a new mystery system. So we set up a new hierarchy to give you the mystery, and you get the Christosis, or the crystallization of the meaning, or something like that, or the Christ energy, or has a Christ figure, or Christ child, or Christ figures, and all these, like, these are previous hierarchical structures of gnosis. So you get a mystery, and the mystery reveals a gnosis, and it's like you can apply it to open up quantum realms in any science. That's why it's called an approach. Scientific approach is an orthodox approach of measures and controls. To be able to peep those, like, unique things, those iterations and variables and things like that happen that you wouldn't, so what am I going to do? So what are the fallen angels? Are just the fallen angels. See? A demon is a muse, or it could be the evidence of someone's mind going to the effect of accomplishing something. So it's like the aspect of mind that does a work, that produces a work. We used to call that the demon, or the diamond. It's not that saying that you have to, consider malevolence to be a good demon or something. Well, we have a word for that. It's called malevolent. You know what I mean? What's the redundancy? So doesn't mean Christianity is redundant, but just like for a junkie, it could either cure them or make them intolerable, and it's kind of hit or miss. Religion, right? For a junkie, that could either make them get it together, or it could make them intolerable and impede them getting any better. And then, but it's not the same thing as to say Christ, right? Because Christ obviously wouldn't go anywhere where the debauchery is. He was not anywhere where that stuff, because it's not inviting to the right type of entities, right? Not the right type of entity or spirit or whatever, I don't know. I shouldn't say entity. And the most scientific approach in entity is a residue or a buildup of some kind, or it could be a partnership or a group of some type, and it could be a trace element of something. So, like just a husk or a remnant of something. See what I mean? Residue, like, it just kind of sounds hard to believe. You know what I mean? Like, like, what the fuck? And that's why people hit they say that the worst ones hang out in the corners of a room. And H.P. Lovecraft's dream cycle, he talked about monsters that can form where there's an angle. So they can take hold and start to put their hooks in and take root of any physical locality where there's a 90 degree, or like 45 or 90 degree angles and shit. And it's similar to why people think that the there's entities that hang out in the corners. So they go and they like put the smoke over there, or throw some salt, or they just hit it up real quick, because that shit is sublime mythology, and it makes for grotesque history. So there's still a technology there. You can transfer that generationally, and it might open up a realm on another generation and skip a few generations with the sublime, the technology that is sublime in mythology. And let me stop talking. At this point, I'm just all over the place. I did try to keep it in the same realm, right? Talk about like angels, angles, hierarchies, mystery systems, Christos, and then things that are outside of that, which is like jinn. So how is it inviting? You know what I mean? Like, how can it be inviting to the spirit to make fun of someone like that? It's like, because you're making it more like as real as it is to her. If you make fun of it, then it's real to you in a different way. It's just real to you in a different way, where it doesn't have to be. If you had background, you would know that it's like a harbinger, like the Mothman or something. So maybe she's illuminated to something, like there's horrors. You don't have to discredit something as supernatural just because it's a fucking horror. I mean, fucking, let's grow the fuck up. Let's grow the fuck up already. Because you like a sensation and shit. Like, you can't play around with curses. This shit is not a joke, and you can't joke around like that. You'll miss something, and it'll be totally unnecessary.